to a celebration. Met some of you. My name's Scott Deacon, and used to be a time you couldn't wear a mask into a bank. Well, we're not living there anymore. Yeah. And I grew up remembering a TV show, but who was that masked man? Well,
all of us.
All of us. We're honored by your presence this evening here at the Calvert Library Foundation award presentation. And when I normally talk in public, I like interaction. So how many of you have heard the phrase, may you live in interesting times? You ever hear that?
Yeah.
It's attributed to a lot of people, and it's supposed to be a blessing, but in reality it really isn't. It's pretty much of an insult and a curse. What it means is, may you experience disorder and trouble in your life. Well, man, are we living in interesting times. In any case, I really appreciate the time that you all have taken to come here and the ability that we can do it within the bounds of the rules to honor Vernon for the many contributions he has made, and to the library in particular. And so this evening I'd like to introduce Carrie Wilson, the Executive Director of Calvert Library, and she has some opening remarks, and then I'll introduce the guest speakers who, again, because of how we are this time, made recorded comments. So, Carrie, please.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for coming. As Scott said, we're glad to have you here, even though this isn't our normal, and I hope you enjoyed your cocktail hour. So since my first day here in 2013, I've known Senator Fowler. There was a poster that hangs in our staff workroom of him with the Patuxent River Days, and it's got a nice quote for you about the generation who will follow us deserve no less. Time is running out. We must act now. And that was from a 2006 weigh-in. But I think about that, I see that quote every day that I'm here in the library, and I think about how important the work is that we do in libraries, how important the work is that we do for the environment, and that gets me moving every day. So thank you for that. Senator Fowler was Commissioner Fowler when the branches of Calvert Library were opening in the 1980s. We are indebted to him and to his fellow public servants over the years for providing fiscal support for Calvert's public library system. And thanks to that foundational support, the library and its 4 locations and the mobile library have faithfully served as one of the most trusted institutions in the county for decades. And even and especially now during the pandemic, Calvert Library serves as a critical resource for information, borrowable physical and digital materials, and a place to connect in person and digitally, virtually, with one another in the world. So in addition to county and state funds to provide our day-to-day operational funding, what we do for the community would not be possible without support from our friends of the library and from the Calvert Library Foundation, who brought us here tonight. So tonight we celebrate the foundation and our honoree, Senator Vernon Fowler. The foundation ensures that our capital projects are fully funded, and they go the extra mile to make our facilities not only useful, but also beautiful for our community. Through their efforts, we can do the extra finishes that make our library special. This fabulous fireplace behind me with our Calvert County fossils in it. And tonight, the Library Foundation honors Senator Fowler, who's made immeasurable impact on our community in Calvert, in Southern Maryland, in the state of Maryland, in the whole watershed region. Our waterways are cleaner, our libraries are cornerstone institutions. So we're honored to be here with you and with your family. And we are immeasurably grateful for your wisdom, for your unflagging passion for public service, and the lasting legacy that you've left here. So thank you so much. Congratulations on getting this award tonight. And we'll send you that so that you can actually hear it and read it later. I know this is all a little garbled, but we'll make sure you all get the video of this.
I have a minor handicap. One of my hearing aids went out on me, and I went over yesterday, but they couldn't fix it that quick. They had to go back, and I ended up having to buy a new set of hearing aids, and they won't be ready for 2 weeks.
We'll have the video ready by then.
Thank you, Carrie.
Certainly.
This is the point of the program. I'd introduce honored guests. And one of the honored guests, Thomas B. Mike Miller, Jr., Maryland State President Emeritus. And he has provided a recording and a video, but a little technical difficulties. You'll hear the video, I think. It's a little garbled, but a different format. We'll get it in. It's sort of be improved. It'll be improved before it comes out to you all. We'd also like to recognize our county commissioners, President of the Board of County Commissioners, Kelly McConkey, Vice President Mike Hart, Stephen Weems, Thomas Tim Hutchins, and Earl Buddy Hance. All offer their warm congratulations. And again, they've left some comments, which we will play, and hopefully continue to improve on those recordings. I'd also like to thank my fellow directors, my wife, my Vice President, Brian Krupe, my wife Betsy, the Secretary, the Treasurer, Emily Gilchrist, Patty Atley, Catherine Marsh, and Scott Russell. And again, they were part of this foundation and part of that selection for you, and just overwhelming support.
Do you want to play these videos? Or?
Again, I'm going to talk a little bit about the foundation.
You do that. That's a great idea.
Just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we are. Captive audience, I love it. Well, the foundation is a 501(c) nonprofit organization, so we're eligible to receive charitable funds. It's an all-volunteer organization, and we strive to put 100% of the money we get back into the library. And it all ties into the library's strategic plan. So what the library needs, they come to us. We don't come up with grand ideas and say, we'll buy you this. It's a joint effort. And it goes beyond what the government can fund, and we try to help make that possible. Currently, we're starting the initial stages of a capital campaign, which is to raise a big chunk of money to help support that new library that's going to be built down at the beaches. And we hope to raise about $250,000 over the next couple of years through various events, and just sheer blind luck. But in any case, no, people here are very, very generous, and we made that goal last time. We had to help with another library down in Southern Maryland, so we know it can be done. In any case, if you have nothing to do tomorrow night, if you tune in to Chesapeake Marketplace Auction.com, we have a charity auction. There is some neat stuff out there. There's a half-day boat fishing trip. There's a 6-hour cruise, I think it is, on the Chesapeake in a sailing boat. There is some water for crystal. There's all kinds of great stuff. In any case, I encourage you to look out there. It starts at 7. You can look early, vote early, vote hard. Vote early, vote hard. In any case, again, it's just one of our charity fundraising opportunities. But libraries are important. In antiquity, libraries today, or so as then, they are the keepers of a culture. And when one warring nation would go against another, if they had a library, they would destroy it. And that's what happened to the library in Alexandria. It was destroyed by conquering Romans. And that destroyed the culture for a long, long time. And I don't know that it's ever recovered from it. In any case, libraries today do the same thing. Currently, the library and its branches really have done a yeoman's job in supporting the community in all aspects when they were doing all virtual and now partially open, and keeping this, the very heartbeat of this county, really help get things done and people resources that needed to have for entertainment, for communications, for jobs, for a host of things. So we like to support them. Libraries just don't happen. It takes commitment and caring. It takes people like the Senator to help us through the government and through advocacy throughout his interactions. So tonight, we're honored to present the 7th time we've given this award, the Calvert Library Foundation, to C. Bernie Fowler. And he's joining past honorees such as Senator Miller, Donnie Ratcliffe, Kitty Hurley, who you mentioned earlier when we were talking, Wilson Parrott, and Kip Hunt. And I think it is a great group to be amongst. And as I said, we live in interesting times. And Senator Miller and some of the commissioners, I said, had provided some recordings, and they will be played now. It takes about 5 minutes and 17 seconds.
Senator Fowler, just a short note to say congratulations on getting this library award. I stood on your shoulders when I got the funding for the library in Prince Frederick. You worked with me, you worked with the county commissioners. Before I was even around, you worked on getting the initial library and library funding in Calvert County. This award is long overdue, recognizing you for your service to education and to the library service here in Calvert County. I am here at home, in my library, my home. I just wish that I could be there with you to present this award, because you truly are a great leader, a great mentor, and we in Calvert County, again, stand on your shoulders for the work that you began with reference to libraries here in Calvert County. Congratulations on this award, and God bless.
I'm excited to recognize such an important public figure in our community, Senator Bernie Fowler, for his lifetime commitment to citizens and in particular his dedication to the educational advancement of local youth. As a former state senator and county commissioner, Bernie has touched countless lives through his civic engagement. His support for our local libraries and encouragement of reading has helped countless individuals make tremendous progress in literacy and learning. Bernie is not only an advocate for our county's youth, but for our natural resources as well. He is a staunch proponent of taking care of our local waterways, notably the Patuxent River and Chesapeake Bay. And let us not forget that Bernie served our country in the United States Navy, on the Calvert County Board of Education, and on various state boards and task force, for which he received countless awards and recognition. Bernie's contributions to Calvert County are innumerable, and there is no one more deserving of this recognition. We can't thank you enough for all you've done and continue to do to make our great county even more exceptional. Thank you all, and have a good evening.
Hi, Senator Fowler. It's Mike Hart. Just wanted to say congratulations on you receiving the Foundation Award.
Libraries in general are one of the last truly public places we have. You go to the library and you see the community in there hanging out and spending time. I don't know if there's another place in our society where that cross-section of citizens sharing space in that way. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the library has had to adjust, but they are still open. They are safe, and the community still is using their services. One of the key proponents of the libraries was Senator Fowler. I've known Senator Fowler all my life, from the time when he worked for the school board and I was in probably my grade school years when I first met him. And I followed his career. He's a veteran of World War II, and he used that background to really help a lot of people, and everything he did was focused on that. One of the things he cared about tremendously was the place of his youth along the Patuxent River, and he started the wade in. When I was in Charles County, representing Charles County in the House of Delegates, I asked him to come over to Port Tobacco and do the wade in at Chapel Point. He graciously accepted that and began an annual walk into the Port Tobacco River. Today, he's an icon as far as community service, as far as his time in the General Assembly. Senator Fowler is renowned throughout the state of Maryland. He's one of our great assets and our great heritage here in Calvert County. I wish him well and thank him for all that he did, and he serves as a model for all of us in government service.
It's an honor and a privilege today to honor the paragon of public service, Senator Bernie Fowler, for the Calvert Library Foundation's award. Senator Fowler, you represent all that is good in this county for so many people, and it's an honor to be a part of this presentation and to say, job well done, sir. Job well done.
Okay, well, that paraphrases the commissioners. Well, Senator Fowler has truly endeared himself with the Calvert librarians and patrons by his abiding interest in local history and Maryland history, his love of the waterways, his appreciation for books, and his efforts to make them available through the library to all the citizens of Calvert County. just my personal recollections of the senator. I've lived in the county since 2004, military person, traveled around a bit, and ultimately retired out of here, and we stayed. Both kids graduated from high school here. When I first got here, I'd heard about Senator Fowler, the man, the myth, and the legend. And I will tell you, if you look at his bio, and you know him personally, you know how true that really is. He is a legend in this county and in this state. Well, I first met Senator Fowler in person at a public hearing some years later. And it was an evening when the county commissioners were having a hearing about the county plan. And I was the Homeowners Association president. I was there to speak against that and did have that opportunity. And then a little later on, Senator Fowler spoke. I was impressed. He gave an impassioned speech, which was counter to the board, counter to the commissioner's position. He did not raise his voice. No harsh words. He did nothing but give solid wisdom and clearly state his position. And I will tell you what, at the end, they knew they were chewed on. Fine art. But I will tell you, when I thought about that, and I came up to introduce myself to him that evening, I said, man, I'm really impressed and really not appreciate the opportunity to meet you. But the word that came to my mind and still does is a statesman. He is a true statesman. We have lost that in America. But he is that. He's a gentleman. Man, what a great, and he wants to share. He's very, very, very humble. He's everything you would expect and want to have in a politician, in a patriarch, in a mentor. All of those things to all the people he comes in contact with, which we truly appreciate. He cares deeply and passionately, like I said, about our waterways and his fellow citizens and our future. And to that, we really want to honor Bernie for all he's done and all he will continue to do. So with that, I would like to invite Carrie to come up and present the award. Senator Fowler.
I did get the video sound to work. If you want to listen to it.
That's okay. Yeah. Here we go. And Senator Fowler, if you'd like to come up. The certificate reads, certificate to accompany the presentation of the Calvert Library Foundation Award presented to C. Bernie Fowler in recognition and appreciation for his many years of public service and support to the Calvert Library and the citizens of Calvert County. Awarded this day, the 24th of October, 2020, signed Kerry Wilson, Executive Director, Calvert Library, and Scott Deacon, President, Calvert Library Foundation. Additionally, the foundation will make a donation to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation in your name. Senator Fowler, the floor is yours if you would like to make some remarks.
On occasions like this, I am not recognized too frequently for having long speeches. That would be very careless indeed if I didn't take a moment to tell you I'm grateful God how much I appreciate you. We don't have lots of people here. We have some very important people here. None of these people in here tonight that doesn't have a uncompromising affection for Calvert County. And we're not going to get into the political aspect of this at all. That would be totally context. Abraham Lincoln, one of his greatest quotations, I think, in my judgment, said, God's greatest gift to man, one of God's greatest gifts to humankind was the Holy Bible. For without it, we would not know right from wrong. Think of that before. 10 Commandments lays it all out, and especially the extra 2 there. Love your God and love your neighbor. But we didn't come here to preach a sermon tonight, but I think it would be also improper for someone who has at least pretended as best they could to serve the Lord since I was a sophomore in high school. That was in 1938. I knew you were born then. But I can assure you that the one thing that I am very proud of is the host of friends that I've been able to muster up over the years. And I think that's mostly because of one thing. And it's embedded in me and grounded in me and will never leave until I leave this planet. And that is simply, it's never wrong to do what's right. What a great world this would be if we could just pass that on to the minds, hearts, and souls of everyone in the United States of America. Still the greatest country on earth. And I'm not a braggist. I don't mean that at all. It's just, we are a country that is revered all over. Except internally here, we have a little problem at the present time. I promise you no politics, and I will certainly hang on to that. It will be no politics. But there is no doubt in my mind, my faith grows stronger every day. The older I get, the slower I get, the more determined I am that I will never, ever leave him nor forsake him. He promised me that, and he's kept his word. I promise you tonight before His Highness and you that these words out of my mouth will not be in any way discarded. The library has meant so much for so many people. We have been fortunate, more than fortunate, to have the kind of talent. And I've known most of them. Now, in recent years, I haven't been as attendant because I actually retired in 1994 from the Senate. But I've stayed active in things of interest and have no plan to discount that or stop doing that. That will depend on the master, but I trust he'll be good to me and keep me walking, keep me talking. He gets me in trouble once in a while, but it's all for the good. You didn't come here tonight for a long speech. You came here to watch me get this award. And I can tell you I have received a few awards in my time. But I don't think there's any way that I could rate this as being down in the lower category. The library has meant so much to all of our people, and it will continue to do so. Because like the love that we have for this county, the love we have for our beautiful Patuxent River, and all the other amenities that makes us second to none in the United States of America. We nicknamed the Patuxent River in Calvert County the jewel of the Chesapeake. And I think that's a pretty accurate statement. I have no reason to apologize for that whatsoever. I believe that Calvert County has endowed themselves with some great people. That was one of the reasons back with the presidential plan, Joni, you were part of that. Your dad was a big part of that. Your brother Joe was a big part of that. We weren't trying to keep people out of Calvert County. What we were trying to do was to establish the kind of amenities that would bring people to Calvert County that didn't bring away the problems with them. And I'll stand here tonight and defy anybody to find better people elsewhere in the state of Maryland, and right here in Calvert County. And it still remains the jewel of the Chesapeake, and it will continue to remain the jewel of the Chesapeake. I'm going to go off course for just a moment. I have two ladies here tonight, Myra and my good friend who is on the phone with me almost as much as she is a husband, I think sometimes. But they're very sharp people, and they have an abiding affection for this county also. They're working very hard. In fact, they are two of the four plaintiffs that have entered to seek recourse in the courts about the current situation. Not because they don't want to see anybody in the county, not that at all. That's not it. It's simply that they want to see this county prosper, but they want to see it not turn itself into a Hoboken, New Jersey. I just have to say that because I'd be dishonest with my own heart, my own mind, if I didn't say that. Let me say in my finale here that I thank you. I thank you for the honor tonight. That's one of the things I'll go to my grave and appreciate it. And I'm still around and very fortunate to be able to do what I do. And I just want you to know that standing before you tonight is a man who has no regrets for the actions and service that I've tried to provide with the talent I've had to Calvert County, which will continue as long as I live. Thank you, and may God bless you all real good. Stay with us.